Hello, Orchard Archivers. Thanks for plugging into yet another episode of Retro Trek with the Caramel Apples, your go-to throwback podcast for all things 70s and 80s. I'm Kennedy Rizzo.
And I'm Cooper Lee.
And this week we have quite an exciting episode for you, dear listeners. We're going to have fun engaging in a fascinating discussion about the Hollywood legend and icon, Michael J. Fox. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go! Fox. Wherever do we start? I mean, this guy is no doubt one of the most influential personas in the history of the small screen and cinema. He's definitely dominated in both facets of entertainment and is one of Hollywood's best known actors with a tenacity and signature style that's all his own.
That is completely true. You know what he really does.
Yeah.
He's, as you said, a huge mainstay and a most integral part of Hollywood, and no doubt one of the most well-known, recognized actors in the world.
He sure is.
And, you know, he's amassed a formidable and versatile body of work as an actor, especially in the height of our designated decade parameters. It's so exciting for us. But he also surprisingly did a lot of valuable work in the way of media. Mm-hmm. Also away from the camera too, as we'll soon dive into. So this week is simply going to be of the golden delicious variety.
Golden deliciousness indeed, Coob. Well said. So let's not waste any more time and get right to it.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox was born on June 9, 1961, to William and Phyllis Piper Fox in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which makes him Canadian.
Or a bona fide Canuck.
There it is.
A friend of Roddy Piper or Jim Carrey, perhaps. They're fellow Canucks as well.
That's right. Michael J. Fox is an actor and activist who infamously rose to fame in the 80s for his comedic roles in the realm of television and cinema.
Yeah, this is correct. It is said that he grew up on Canadian military bases as a youngster, and this was due to his father, William Fox, being a 25-year veteran of the Canadian Forces, who later turned to become a police dispatcher.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so his mother, Phyllis, herself iconically toyed with acting, but served as a payroll clerk as her day job.
Oh, okay.
Michael J. Fox's family lived in various towns all across Canada because of his father's career, which that's generally how it goes with military families.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
And so very early on, we can see that he was getting to be well-traveled.
Good job, Michael J. Fox.
So fun fact, did you know that Michael J. Fox, at the tender age of 15, starred in a Canadian television series entitled Leo and Me? And it was produced by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Then soon after, he moved to LA at 18 years of age.
Yes, Cooper. This was in the year of 1978 when he was 18 years old. But Michael J. Fox was bright-eyed, ambitious, and determined to see what he could do to further his career in the realm of acting, seeing how he dipped his toes in it and all.
Yeah, so now it's a well-known fact that we all know this most talented actor as Michael J. Fox. But like most Hollywood celebrities, most have a new name or even pseudonym to put out there front and center to shine as brightly as their shining star.
Right.
So Michael J. Fox was no different. Fun fact, did you know that Michael J. Fox was actually born as Michael A. or Andrew Fox?
Wait. You mean he's really not Alex P. Keaton? Oh, the horror.
Sort of, kind of. We'll get there, though, here in a bit.
We certainly will. To further flesh out that fun fact you just shared, though, Coop, it is said that Michael J. Fox was discovered by producer Ronald Shedlow and made his American television debut in the television film Letters from Frank, and was credited under the name as Michael Fox. He wanted to continue on using this as his name. Easy enough, right?
Sure.
Well, not exactly. When he went on to make it official and register the name Michael Fox with the Screen Actors Guild, he hit a brief snag when he found out that there was a veteran actor, Michael Fox, already registered under that name.
Oh, no.
Oh, cue up Marvin the Martian.
Delays.
This was interesting because the Screen Actors Guild is put in place as a protection for this very issue, so that respective celebrities can avoid credit ambiguities or, more importantly, have the possibility of sending royalty checks to the wrong actors.
Talk about delays. There you go, Marvin.
The bats and sticks are out. So he needed to come up with a different name, and pretty fast, according to his explanation in his autobiography, Lucky Man, a Memoir. Fascinating read. So if you're a hardcore fan of his, you gotta check this out.
As Kennedy usually states, facts.
I do say that.
Yes, she does. So this goes back to that fun fact about his birth name being Michael Andrew Fox. But he thought about using Michael A. Fox, but he didn't like the sound of it. It does kind of sound different, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Only because, we know him with J, but
Yeah.
it doesn't just roll off the tongue.
Right, it is his name, but now it's a brand.
Right. So, during a time when Fox meant attractive and being born, bred Canuck, the A sounded too similar like the Canadian A.
Oh, I can see now how that could be a bit of a conflicting problem.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So he ultimately decided to use an entirely different middle initial, J, as a tribute to another favorite actor of his, Michael J. Pollard.
Okay.
Stay tuned. There's another crazy cool twist of a mentoring actor and a warm later life development to come. But for now, we have our beloved Michael J. Fox. Yay!
Here we go.
But inquiring minds want to know when this official switch happened exactly.
Great question, Cooper. And we're about to answer that inquiry here momentarily. Our chosen Trek Retro is developing nicely this week so far, and it's amazing to see that at times, life can be stranger than fiction. I'm pretty sure those lines easily got blurred in the realm of Hollywood, but that's the tried and true excitement of it though, right?
Sure.
So now that we've gotten that moniker choice sorted out, moving along, we take a brief look into his early 80s acting career and see when this all became official. Michael J. Fox was offered a few television series roles, but soon they stopped coming in, which he was surviving on. This is what they were saying. Boxes of macaroni and cheese.
I hope they were Kraft.
Yeah, not a bad idea, Our star actor's first feature film roles were Midnight Madness in 1980 and Class of 1984, which came out in 1982. More feature stuff, right?
Yes.
But in both of these movies, he was credited as Michael Fox.
Correct. Then his agent called to tell him that he got the part of Alex P. Keaton on the situation comedy Family Ties in 1982, which aired on NBC for 7 seasons until 1989.
That was a big one in the 80s.
It really was.
That was a thing.
I think most people did tune in. We thankfully did. And it is said that he received the role only after a hotly sought after young up and coming actor, Matthew Broderick, was unavailable.
Oh.
Yeah. And along with his male divitude, flat out refused to have a long-term television obligation.
Thank you, Matthew. There are other big projects for you to star in. This one belongs to Michael J. Fox.
This is true. But it is around this time that he landed his iconic role on Family Ties that he became Michael J. Fox.
Oh, love some backstory on so many of our fun retro topics.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. As the way this fortunate turn of events played out for Michael J. Fox. So we learned that Fox made the call from a phone booth outside of a now no longer in existence establishment that was called Pioneer Chicken Restaurant. Yeah, this was in Hollywood because he did not own a phone at home. Okay, people, this is 80s life.
Right?
When you was broke, you were broke. We didn't have cell phones back then.
Nope.
Yes, everybody was waiting by that dial for the phone booth. So he was told the network would need to call, and he informed them saying that he was only home between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. Here we go.
Yeah.
This was really how we had to rough it back then. This is nostalgic right here because this isn't just words. This was reality.
It was. It was.
We had to rough it in the 80s. So he patiently waited for the call, and fortunately, he was there to answer it and to ultimately secure the role in Family Ties.
So I hope he at least had a bench he could sit on while he's waiting on that phone call.
So he needed his chicken.
Yeah.
For Pioneer Chicken.
Is that or sitting on the curb eating his chicken?
I'll take a side of macaroni and cheese, please.
Oh, and we're so glad he waited for that call.
Yeah, he's a trooper.
He is. Fun fact, did you know that creator Gary David Goldberg did not like Michael J. Fox after his first audition?
Oh my, friction, static.
Yeah, stating that he played Alex P. Keaton too smart alecky.
Friction, static.
But to the rescue, casting director Judith Weiner fought and advocated for him, so Mr. Goldberg gave him one more chance.
Okay.
And Michael J. Fox approached the second audition differently and was later called and offered the role. So that's neat how that really played out, because with him landing that role on Family Ties, it really changed his life in so many different ways. But most importantly, that brave leap launched him into stardom.
Michael J. Fox won 3 Emmy Awards for his brilliant performance as Alex P. Keaton between 1986 and 1989. He also won a Golden Globe in 1989. The positive reaction to Michael J. Fox's performance led to his characters becoming the focus of the show following the 4th episode. Oh, that's pretty good, right?
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I guess he wasn't considered too smart alecky anymore. NBC Network sold Family Ties to the audience, calling it a draw for hip parents and square kids, with the parents originally intended to be the main characters. So see how that switched up right there?
Yeah.
This must have worked, for we have the proof of its success carved out in our retro history, for at the show's peak, the audience drew, get this, 1/3 of American households tuned in each and every week.
So, the fact that you mentioned that about, how the show kind of morphed and was kind of organic like that, changing what the focal point was.
Yes.
There's another show I can think of that specifically happened, and that will fit in our decade parameters as well.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and it was interesting that happened. I bet you that happened a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, as long as people are tuning in, well, let's cater to the audience,
That's
it's
right.
about the audience.
The fans have spoken.
Yeah, so that was really, really cool. So another interesting development surrounding Family Ties show is this. One of the show's producers, as well as NBC's president, Brandon Tartikoff.
Oh yeah, we've heard that name and mentioned it before when covering the interesting background tech specs on the lovable 80s sitcom Owls.
That's right. He felt that Michael J. Fox was too short in relation to the actors playing his parents.
Oh no.
Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter Birney. and tried to have him replaced.
Well. Wow. So this bears the question, just how tall is Michael J. Fox? Well, it's of no secret that he had a tad smaller structure than so many back then. Some of his Hollywood brethren. But here are the deets. Michael J. Fox is only 5'4" I never get this right.
5'4.5"
inches tall. Yes. Thank you, Cooper.
Welcome.
Now, besides my trying to spit that bit of dribble out, that's not too terrible, is it?
No. Well, let's see. Continuing on with what NBC president Brendan Tartikoff implied of Michael J. Fox's star-drawing potential, he reportedly said of Michael J. Fox that, quote, "This is not the kind of face you'll ever find on a lunchbox."
Ooh, Snarkville.
End quote. Glib. But get this. You'll love this part of the story.
Okay.
After Michael J. Fox's later career successes, and there are many as we'll soon get into, Michael J. Fox actually gifted and presented Mr. Tartikoff with a custom-made lunchbox displaying the clever inscription, "To Brandon, this is for you to put your crow in."
Oh, wow.
Love and kisses, Michael J. End quote.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just talked about him being 5'4.5" tall. Hey, come out right that time.
Nice.
Interesting.
Good job.
But, we're not tall people. We're not short either, but we're not tall. But dynamite comes in small packages. I think that's what's happening here. I love this. I mean,
Yeah.
and how big of a star is he? I mean, we haven't gotten there yet to some of his bigger things and projects, but he's known.
Right.
He's a brand.
He is a brand.
Yeah.
Some serious staying power.
Yeah, so I wonder how Mr. Tartikoff liked that crow.
It would be interesting. But it is noted that Tartikoff indeed kept the lunchbox in his office for the rest of his NBC career. Crazy story, right?
Oh, snap. I guess that crow was fried.
Yo.
Wow. And even crazier is that we're able to talk about this amazing actor and some of his highest accomplishments in the realm of acting due to his tenacity and determination to have his voice heard through the creative expression of his acting.
Sure.
Man, I don't know. I can't get over that. 5'4.5" tall. 5'4.5" tall. Who's 5'4"? Michael J. Fox was more like 6 foot tall and beyond, as his shining career played out openly for all the world to see. Indeed, Michael J. Fox was one of the biggest stars of the 80s, who managed to parlay his impeccable comedic timing and clean-cut, dashing good looks into a successful career as an amiable boy-next-door type character.
True that, Kennard.
He is a dashing good looks, right? I had to say that.
Oh, I wondered when you were going to pipe up about that.
I know, right?
I will say a little later than expected.
Oh, okay, yes. Control and decorum.
Yeah. For your hubby's sake.
Yeah, we'll get it now.
But a lot of things changed for Michael J. Fox once his career ignited from his tenure in Family Ties. Speaking of his dashing good looks, it was that eye candy factor that caught the rapt attention of his now devoted wife, Tracy Pollan, who met and worked together occasionally on the set of Family Ties.
Okay.
So Michael J. Fox was on fire.
He most certainly was. Well, Michael J. Fox also during this time appeared in some of the most nostalgic feature films, most notably his awesome portrayal of Marty McFly in the smash hit movie Back to the Future from 1985, along with their respective sequels. Michael J. Fox had brilliantly pulled off going from Alex P. Keaton right into Marty McFly. But that piece of retro history almost wasn't was. No, not at all.
I'm thinking of a certain lunchbox.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. If this episode entertained you, please share it. Spread the word. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your continued support. Now, back to the show. Right? Michael J. Fox had always been the first choice for Marty McFly, but he was temporarily unavailable due to scheduling conflicts with his work involved in Family Ties. There's a whole interesting backstory on some of the scheduling and casting conflicts going on the set of Family Ties. So, with him being a valuable asset there, this set juggling would have made it difficult for him to join in on Back to the Future initially. Did you know that the role was temporarily cast with another talented actor, that of Eric Stoltz? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Back to the Future would have been, no doubt, still a good movie, but let's be honest, it would have been an entirely different movie just based on that one change. Pretty interesting, huh?
It really is interesting, Kennedy. Director Robert Zemeckis wanted Michael J. Fox to play Marty, but the holdup was Gary David Goldberg, the creator of Family Ties, refusing to allow Robert Zemeckis to even approach Michael J. Fox.
Whoa, oh.
How did he do that? He's mine! Get away!
That's what it was, right?
Yeah. So as he felt that there was other conflicting things going on the Family Ties set that would further disrupt their mojo, if you will. Mm-hmm. I think it is that it was like Meredith Baxter Birney was expecting, so she was preoccupied and toying with leaving all of that good stuff.
Okay.
And, Alex P. Keaton was needed to, carry on the show while she was off.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So long story short, Eric Stoltz didn't work out for Back to the Future. So Robert Zemeckis quickly replaced him, that is Eric, with Michael J. Fox now that Meredith Baxter Birney was back active on the set, post-maternity leave.
Gotcha.
And Fox's schedule was now more open due to that.
Phew, that was kind of close, Cooper. And during filming and juggling both respective roles, it is said that Michael J. Fox rehearsed for Family Ties from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., then rushed back to the Future set where he would rehearse and shoot there until 2:30 a.m.
My, did he happen to use the DeLorean by chance?
That might have been ideal. Goodness.
Good thing it was nighttime scenes.
Right?
Most of the movie.
Man, this grueling schedule lasted for 2 full months.
Wow.
But it was well worth it, for Back to the Future was both a commercial and critical success.
Right you are, Kennard. For the film spent 8 consecutive weeks as the #1 grossing movie at the U.S. box office in 1985 and eventually earned a worldwide total of $381 million.
That is some change.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That is some staying power at the box office.
I love that.
Very impressive. Especially for back then, right?
Yeah, that's big money. Yeah.
Yeah. So Back to the Future was followed up by 2 uber successful sequels, which were produced at the same time, but released separately. That being Back to the Future 2 1989, and Back to the Future Part 3, 1990.
Okay.
And it's a well-known fact and warm development I'd like to share about the friendship and connection that came about between Michael J. Fox and actor Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown. So as the two actors became very close friends, fun fact, Variety magazine applauded the performances, opining that Michael J. Fox and his dear friend, co-star, each infused into their respective characters, Doc and Marty, a warm quality reminiscent of King Arthur and Merlin.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll touch more on that closeness here in a bit.
Which makes me more of a diehard fan. Along with starring in the successful trilogy of Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox catapulted into other feature films during this white-hot era, including Teen Wolf from 1985, Light of Day, 1987, one of my favorites being The Secret of My Success, also in 1987, Bright Lights, Big City, 1988, Casualties of War, 1989, and the couple he was in the early 90s was Doc Hollywood in 1991 and For Love or Money in 1993. Yeah, so that's a pretty impressive list, when you think about 80s favorites, there's, a couple trickled in there from the early 90s, but
Yeah.
I really like Secret of The Secret of My Success. Can't even say it. But I like that one because it really depicted New York City
Yes.
in the 80s. Everybody, they always show the corporate people walking down the sidewalk. They got tennis shoes on and a nice suit on top, They look Melrose Place on top, and they looked like they were, I don't know, ready to go to play basketball at the gym somewhere at the bottom half.
And it was either piano music in the background or it was going to be a saxophone.
Yes, that's an 80s instrument, yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And then a few years later, the For Love or Money. I like that one. Okay, so I think he's a good-looking guy. That one, he was suave in that one.
Okay.
Because he played this debonair concierge for the hotel. And he was just he wore that suit good.
Ah, okay.
And he'd always throw his fingers through his hair. So he had that hair that would fall. I don't know. He looked good in that one.
Oh.
And he was with Gabrielle Anwar in that one. She's a natural beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, Coop. Remember the movie? It was the girl that used to perform in the circus on a horse. Remember she went blind in the 90s. That movie come out, and it's Where Dreams Come or something. I can't remember what the name of the movie was. It was, and she went blind. She was the actress in that. And her and the horse had this nice trust between each other, and they still performed when she went blind. She lost her sight.
It kind of sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, we saw it at our local theater.
Okay, yeah. Ugh. I'll have to definitely look that one up again because the story sounds familiar, but
Okay.
I'm getting older now, so
Oh,
my brain's not dialing it up like I want it to right now.
Completely stinks getting older, whatever.
It does.
Nostalgic's great.
But I'll tell you, like you said, these are kind of like consecutive, back to back to back. He was just woo woo woo, flipping them out like hotcakes.
Yes.
One on that list that I really liked is Doc Hollywood.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's a cute one, isn't it? Because again, it had that whole 80s feel to it. He's heading to the big city and then he kind of gets sidetracked here in small Podunkville, and his services were needed and whatnot. Of course, he finds love and so it had that very coming of age 80s-esque look and appeal, and I like that.
Yeah, and it was it captured the innocence, more of the innocence that was reigned supreme at the time. It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's different now.
It is. But you know what? I love the fact that we talked about that. It is very impressive.
Oh yeah.
Well, there are a couple of pivotal life-altering happenings that went down during the time pockets you just listed off in that impressive list of work. Kennedy, and it's those notable films he was involved in. One of such I find very interesting as well as heartwarming. Fun fact. Did you know that he married his previous co-star and longtime friend, Tracy Pollan? As we've mentioned earlier in this week's Orchard Track, the pair first crossed paths in 1985 after ironically being cast as each other's love interest on Family Ties, but only remained friends then as they were already committed to their respective budding careers and other significant others.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's nice, you know?
Yeah.
Being genuine to what they were involved in. You know, they didn't
Yeah.
just, quickly leave for something better, greener pastures.
That's a today thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Fun fact number 2. Yes, both were dating other people at the time, and I know you've heard these names. That being Nancy McKeon and Kevin Bacon.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. But makes a lot of sense. Both of their previous flames were big names back then in the pop culture sphere.
Sure were. I thought you'd find that surprising.
It is. So when did our two lovebirds reconnect exactly?
It was when the pair reunited on screen, that being in 1988, that film Bright Lights, Big City.
Okay.
Their friendship took on a new flair.
Oh, gotcha.
And sparks flew between the two sweethearts, and get this, within 7 months, Michael J. Fox wasn't going to let her get away again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he put a ring on it in the summer of 1988.
Oh, Mike wasn't playing now, was he?
No, he was not.
He was serious.
Together, they have 4 wonderful children. Sam, they have a set of twins, Akenna and Schuler and Esme.
Oh, okay. Those are pretty names.
Yeah. And their lives, careers, and marriage really saw numerous triumphs and challenges over the years, as most marital unions do.
True that.
Yeah. In particular, that has gotten him worldwide notice we'll get into here in a bit.
Okay.
But Kennedy, here's the beautiful part. Michael J. Fox and his wife just celebrated 35 years of marriage this year. 35! Let that sink in for a moment. These two are in Hollywood and are still going strong.
Coop, that is indeed almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And quite the noble achievement.
We love those kinds of numbers.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, we're sitting there going on about that. It's so rare.
It is.
And for where they're at.
Yes.
Amazing.
Love it.
Well, we've got some heartwarming quotes from the couple to share on how both enduring and endearing their shining love for each other is after we share something here now that is very well known in regards to the raw challenges Michael J. Fox had to face. Now, sharing this will put everything in much sharper context for certain. Michael J. Fox starred in the 1991 film Doc Hollywood, one of Coop's favorites. It was while shooting this film that he started experiencing symptoms of early onset Parkinson's disease, which was diagnosed shortly thereafter.
Oh, how devastating.
It certainly is. Director-producer Michael Caton Jones of Basic Instinct fame said of Fox during his time filming on Doc Hollywood, and I quote, that he was at his frenetic best, end quote.
Well, after being privately diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1991, he was cautioned by those who had his best interest at heart that he had 10 good working years left before succumbing to this dreadful disease. So Michael J. Fox quickly signed a 3-film agreement, appearing in another one of your favorites, Kennard, For Love or Money, in 1993, as well as a few more standout films on into the 90s.
Michael J. Fox was determined to tackle the many obstacles that lay before him. Not only was he determined to keep busy in feature films, but he also wanted to keep trying his hand back on the small screen, on TV. Michael J. Fox is also famous for starring in the smash hit television series on the ABC network called Spin City. That was from 1996 to 2002. Spin City was based on a fictional local government run in New York City. Yay, yay, yay! with our hero starring as Mike Flaherty, a Fordham Law School graduate serving as the deputy mayor of New York. New York. Michael J. Fox won an Emmy Award for Spin City in 2000, 3 Golden Globe Awards in 1998, 1999, and 2000 respectively, and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards in 1999 and the year 2000.
So we started out this week's show on that he was officially a Canuck or Canadian. Part of the triumphs and challenges he went through included this fun fact. Did you know that Michael J. Fox became a U.S. citizen in the year of 1999? Can you believe he somehow managed to accomplish this little thing on his to-do list?
Not at all.
Surely I jest, but that is simply jaw-dropping in lieu of all he was really dealing with during this time.
Oh, I agree 110%, Cooper.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah, that's an understatement. During the 3rd season of Spin City, Michael J. Fox made the announcement to the cast and crew of the show that he actually had Parkinson's disease.
Oh boy, well, you know what? That's a huge and brave step to come forward with in this sensitive issue.
It is. And he still tried his best to power through this health ordeal. But try as he might, by the 4th season, Michael J. Fox sadly announced his retirement from the series. Just before his official retirement from the show, ever determined, he announced that he planned to continue to act and would make guest appearances on Spin City, which ended up being 3 more appearances on the show during the final season. After leaving Spin City, Michael J. Fox was replaced by another infamous actor, that of Charlie Sheen. Yeah, and he portrayed the character Charlie Crawford in Fox's place. Charlie picked up the proverbial torch where Michael J. Fox left off and did some fine justice for helping Spin City's success to continue on.
Michael J. Fox didn't just crumple up feeling deeply disturbed by his dire health sentence, although we can surmise and only imagine just how weighty these newfound concerns and worries were.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, here he's one of Hollywood's legendary actors. He has a most beloved wife and loving supporting family to enjoy and look after. And he has major awards and accolades connected to his name, but now he's seriously ill. You know, just how tragic.
That is very tragic.
Yeah, serious crazy turn of events. But our ever-resilient star was looking at his situation as the glass half full.
You have to.
You do. You do. And this perspective always brings sunshine out on the worst of stormy days.
You state raw facts on that, Coop. So it is said that Michael J. Fox took the time needed necessary and founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research in the year 2000. So not only does he want to find and research helpful potential cures and medicines for this disease for himself, but he's trailblazing a path and advocating for others who are suffering the same bleak diagnosis as he is. Oh, how noble.
Yeah.
Subsequently, Michael J. Fox limited his acting to focus on the illness. It is interesting to note that many researchers now believe that Parkinson's disease results from a combination of genetic and environmental factors such as exposure to toxins. Not too surprising in this nutty world we live in.
Very interesting fact. I'd be happy to share that since 2010, Fox has led a $100 million effort, which is his namesake's foundation's landmark observational study, in order to discover the biological markers of Parkinson's disease with the Parkinson's Progression Markers Initiative, or PPMI. How cool is that?
Oh, very. That's cool.
Yeah. So you mentioned that he probably experienced a lot of stormy days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is noted that Michael J. Fox battled alcoholism during the onset of his Parkinson's diagnosis. But soon after, he sought professional help for that.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it's just boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
So Michael J. Fox has been sober since 1992, so that was very encouraging to learn.
Lemons make good lemonade.
Yeah.
And you'd be happy to know that since filming the Back to the Future trilogy together, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, formed a lifelong friendship that has stood the test of time. When Michael J. Fox was coping and coming to terms with the gravity of his newfound health situation and also battling alcoholism, it is Christopher Lloyd who stood by him like a good friend would during this struggle, and he was there for him when Michael J. Fox was ready to go public about his medical condition. Cooper, these two friends, best friends, are practically inseparable. Anytime there are reunions for discussing retro talk surrounding their personal memories and experiences in Back to the Future and such, the two powerhouse stars never waste an opportunity to be able to reconnect during those key moments. Their friendship really is a warm one to witness whenever the two are together. They are the epitome of warm and true friendship.
Oh my goodness. Hashtag goals.
Right.
I just love this. I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, because you meet people throughout your life, and you know, you never know who's going to come and go, but when you find someone that you really connect with, and it's not just for the moment that you're working together, that it does have this staying power well into the future.
Yeah.
Through the lows of your life. That is amazing. I love that.
It is. And it's a basic something that somebody's looking for. And it's like a dog chasing its tail for most people. Like they're looking for something very basic and they can't find it.
Yeah.
It's sad, actually.
Yeah. So bravo to Michael. Bravo to Christopher that they kept this friendship going. It's amazing. Recently, during a heartwarming reunion at the New York Con, Michael J. Fox thanked his best friend with a hug for standing beside him like a rock after all of these years.
Yeah.
But two, he has his ever-devoted wife, Tracy, in which he praised her beautifully in a recent Instagram post celebrating their 35th anniversary.
Okay.
And Michael says of his wife, Tracy Pollan, 35 years of laughter, living, listening, and loving you. She responds, 35 years, happy anniversary, my love. Here's to many more obvious adventures together. I could not love you more. He responds back, thank you for it all, forever yours, end quote. Beautiful sentiments.
Oh, yes.
And Michael J. Fox also is quoted on how he feels about family, and I quote, family is not an important thing. It's everything. End quote. Is right. So it's really cool to see this. I mean, to know, and through all of it, we see the glitz, glamour from the 80s draw in this ever-talented actor, bringing his prowess and talent to both the big screen and small screen.
Right.
You know, and he literally exploded onto the Hollywood scene and managed to parlay his status into a bona fide heartthrob.
He sure did. Michael J. Fox is simply a fascinating Hollywood specimen to peer into. He got to experience and share with us, the fans, the glitz and glamour that he siphoned from Hollywood, winning multiple awards and accolades all along the way. But this is another nod to his being now considered a Canadian American. For both places he considered home, celebrated his stint as a most charming and talented actor. What say you, Cooper?
Oh, fun fact. You would be happy to know that Michael J. Fox was inducted to Canada's Walk of Fame in the year 2000, located in Toronto, Canada. Love that city. As well as the Hollywood Walk of Fame on December 16th of 2002.
Impressive.
Yeah. I found it interesting doing a little bit of research that Michael J. Fox became the 2,209th actor that had their star placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's pretty cool, huh?
Oh, I think that's very cool.
Yeah. So, what did Michael J. Fox think of this and all of these honors he's achieved? He says, and I quote, in every aspect, I have been blessed with the opportunity to work towards leaving an impact on the world and on the lives around me, and to be a partner in the critical research for answers, end quote. I think our shining star focus this week covered all the bases.
Yeah. You know, it's so neat how he holds dual citizenship and how he has expressed his admiration to be a Canadian. And in my humble opinion, and that's of so many of us in our girl squad, we can't forget that Michael J. Fox is some caramelicious eye candy that resides in our ever-loving retro hearts and minds. After all, there was a VH1 television series entitled The Greatest, which named Fox among their 50 greatest teen idols.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, buddy. We tend to agree. He sure was one of mine. Easy answer, hands down. Michael J. Fox is truly an authentic representation of a dedicated actor, as well as tenacious, as he goes after whatever he pleases. He truly impressed and made his mark on Tinseltown.
You said it, Kennedy. And that's not hard to imagine, especially after our riveting, insightful Orchard Trek Retro this week.
You said it.
There's so much more fascinating backstory on Michael J. Fox in regards to his fine acting prowess, or getting the behind-the-scenes look into his many projects, or in being a positive advocate or activist for his Parkinson's, research.
Mm-hmm.
Michael J. Fox was one key example of walking on or trekking over the way of warm nostalgia.
Fox!
There it was!
Hashtag Fox. He really immersed himself into his craft and made many a role most memorable and caused those characters to come alive in all of his on-screen contributions, from the small screen of television all the way up to entertaining us die-hard fans on the big screen. Michael J. Fox wielded that talent. Such an awesome and brave individual he is.
So to sum up our discussion on Michael J. Fox this week, what can we say? Well, that he has demonstrated and embodied a versatile and fascinating array of work as an actor, now turned activist that spans the stage, TV, and film, and continues to work hard at his endeavors on getting others hope via the timely and selfless research involving his namesake foundation from its initial induction on into the present.
Truly. We'll always enjoy the hard work and grit he showcased in so many of the throwback offerings he starred in. Undoubtedly, the raw talent is the trademark that makes Michael J. Fox shine bright. Thank you for all of the retro memories, and for that, Mr. Fox, will always be forever yours.
And that's it for this week's episode. To make sure that you never miss out on another second of our Caramelicious podcast, meet up with us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Bye for now, and thanks so much for listening.